and basketball analysis with over 70 years combined experience. This is the Bob Ryan and Jeff Goodman podcast.
All right, it is Bob Ryan and Gary Tanguay, and this podcast is brought to you by PrizePicks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network. Pick more, pick less with PrizePicks. Okay, Bob, finally, we're getting close to the season opener here. How are we feeling about the Celtics right now?
Feeling good. There's no reason not to feel good. I think the one question is just, when are we going to see Porzingis? And that being the case...
May.
That being the case, how are we going to, is Joe Mazzulla going to handle Al Horford, who has not seen the light of day in the first two exhibitions, as far as I know? And that's an issue. But everything else, I think, is looking good. And hey, I'll tell you a guy that I don't want to say that's a cliche, so he's on a mission, but he's out to prove something, and that's Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown looks terrific. And I mean, really, I know it's two exhibition games, but I'm telling you, he's motivated, so I don't know if he's using that Olympic thing or I doubt he really needs anything anyway. He looks really good. The backcourts are the same backcourt. I'll tell you what I did like is both Pritchard. Because I'm a member of the Pritchard fan club from day one. You are. And he's had some. He and Hauser looks. He made a move to the hoop. I say, where's that from? We're used to Hauser just cranking up the three. He made a beautiful move to the hoop the other day, and in addition to using his three, they look good. Everything looks good. I mean,
here's my philosophy with Jaylen Brown. And again, everything changed when they traded Marcus Smart. God bless him. He was a fan favorite, but it freed Jaylen up to establish the role of a leader. And I feel he's feeding off of that. I feel like he thinks it is his responsibility to guide this team. And it is, because while Jason Tatum, we've seen him do a number of great things. And, the leader of this team is Brown. Yeah, he is. Now, we know Jason Tatum's a wonderful player. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Hell, Brown's on his way to having a Hall of Fame career. We'll see what happens. But, I mean, he is the adult in the room. And I think he's taking that seriously. And yeah, I'm sure he's using the Olympics as a little bit of a motivation. But what I'm excited to see is soup to nuts. It's like, because you and I both talked about it, Bob, the reason he didn't make the Olympic team was because he became a different guy in the playoffs. We're going to see this guy for the entire season, and I can't wait.
And by the way, I didn't see the beginning of the game, but I saw the replay of it later. He addressed the crowd in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
And he sprinkled in some local language. I don't even know. Is it Arabic they speak in
It's above my pay grade, Bob. I don't know.
I would think, I don't know. But whatever it was, we know it turns out he's a big fan of the region. He spent a lot of time in Bahrain. He spent a lot of time in United Arab Emirates. He's the crowd.
Man of the world.
The crowd absolutely loved it when he broke out the local language. So anyway, I keep saying, when he's done, his future after basketball is not in basketball. He'll be making his mark in society in some way outside of basketball.
Yeah, no doubt. Anyway, do you think load management? Do you think Joe has to be concerned with load management? Because while we look at these guys as being young, like we talk about, I mean, Jaylen's been in 9 years for him.
Oh no, he's they're still in their 20s, but they start when they're 19, and no, he's a veteran, seasoned veteran. He's got sufficient depth to play around. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I think so. Yes, they've got enough. That's what they're on their calling. I continue to say they have the best starting five in the league. They have the best 1 to 8 in the league, and they have the best 1 to even 10 or 11 in the league. No team has as many quality NBA players as the Boston Celtics, and that's a fact. Now, other teams, there's a cluster of greatness, but they don't have the depth. They have tremendous depth, and I think, and really a tribute to Danny and Brad for what they've been able to come up with, and Brad now, padding up the lineup. So, and we'll see. So I'm really looking forward to the season from the Celtics.
I don't think Mazzulla will get caught up in it. Tibbs has been.
Oh no,
Tibbs has been around a while. So with the Knicks, but during the regular season, they're going to be gunning for the Celtics. And
Oh yeah.
as we saw, the Lakers won the in-season tournament, but what did that do for them?
God.
But I could see Missoula, like, he's going to stick to the game plan. They're gonna take care of their guys as a whole, and they're not going to, everybody, the Celtics are a target every night,
Yeah, yeah.
and Missoula will not succumb to that.
Oh, listen, they from top to bottom, from Rick Grossbeck on down, they have decided last season was nice. Now it's a new year.
I mean, and think about it, Bob, for a minute. Like, if you're Jaylen Brown and you're Tatum, but to win back to back is a big deal now, because after LeBron's era is over. I love him. Let's face it, he's on the back nine. But, there are no Spurs. The Spurs are gone. The Bulls are gone.
No Warriors. Warriors.
There are no dynasties.
There's no Warriors. No,
there's no Warriors. Everybody's like, let's win one and we'll see what happens. I mean, for the Celtics,
no, you're right. But so they want to make them. And when you play for the Celtics, you're acutely aware of the history. And these guys, we know these guys know that they've already identified that we want to win another one, so they can, be able to be discussed in some terms with the big three, the original big three, who won 3 times. And they want to win multiple times. But I mean, the point is that they're focusing on this year, and they're not in any way resting on the laurels, quote unquote, at all. I don't think that they're very adamant about that, and I think we can take them at their word. That's all. So now, once again, the big thing we discussed clearly, the two teams, their two big rivals in the division. They're both in the division, not just the conference. Have loaded up and improved on paper. The Knicks and the Sixers. So that's going to be challenging. Good.
You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. Hey, sign up today. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Cook up hot takes with your friends and win real money this football season when you and your crew run your game on PrizePicks. This week on the PrizePicks football board, Justin Jefferson for more than 83.5 receiving yards, and Patrick Mahomes for less than 267.5 passing yards. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game.
I wonder, do you think if Tatum doesn't start strong offensively, that's an issue for him mentally?
Maybe. But no, except that he is improved in every other way along the way. He's a passer, a better passer now. He can be a facilitator. He is a facilitator, and I am harping on his improved defensive rebounding. I thought that's one of the unspoken, unattributed factors in the playoffs was his great defensive rebounding in traffic, and that wasn't always the case. He was an okay rebounder, but he's become a damn good one. But he can contribute in different ways. But still, clearly you don't want him having get some star with shooting 20% on threes, and how could it not get to him? So we don't want to see that.
Well, I would say I hope that they're more selective with the threes, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, when the first exhibition game to come out and take 61, which would have been a franchise record, they cut it down to 47 in the second game, and the ratio is 47 threes and 46 twos. That's what they had in the second game.
Well, that's what Belichick would call a balanced offense.
Yeah, right. So that's right. And I had to laugh at that, the way it came out. You don't aim for that, but that's what it came out. And because I aimed for at least that. I mean, you're right. 61 was absurd. But in the second game, 11 different guys made it 3.
Yeah.
But that's hardly unique to the Boston Celtics.
Oh, it's the NBA not unique in the league.
That's the NBA of 2024. It is.
Yeah, so there's no doubt.
By the way, the Knicks opener, Towns looked good and fitting in. Now the one thing about Towns is he's not even though he's 7 feet tall, he's not a quality rim protector at all. It's the other end of the floor where he's still vulnerable. But on offense, he's going to really enhance that team.
I don't know
Must be guarded.
I don't know enough about his personality.
Hmm.
Is this a guy that's going to be on a mission because he was dealt?
I don't know I really don't know either. And New York, we're going to find out because we know that in any sport, New York's not for everybody. And in any sport, it doesn't matter. And New York's not for everybody. And this is so they're going to find out. I guess presumably they've done their vetting, and of course Thibodeau knows them, of course. And
Right.
of course we have one of the issues was that there was some friction when they were together in Minnesota, which they both say now is ancient history. That they're
Well, I mean, it better be because this is their last chance.
Yeah. So yeah. Right. But anyway, and opening night, we're going to get a taste. It's going to be hit us right in the face on the 22nd of October. Is Here Come the Knicks. So good.
Yeah, good. That's a good opener. One guy who I feel terrible in saying this, but I always forget about him, and I feel bad about it, is Zion. I just always forget.
The whole league, right. The reason you do is that here's his games played this is year 6. He's had 5 years. 24, 61, 0, 29, and last year he had a career high 70. And I'm sure that would be a figure that they would gladly take in New Orleans.
Sure.
But the point is, he got hurt in the end in the playoffs. No, late in the season. He had a big game against the Lakers, 40-point game, tweaked his hamstring. Oh, by the way, his injuries include meniscus in 1920, missed the whole season due to a foot, 21-22, and now it's been recurrent hamstrings, okay, with him. Now, the question to him has been from always that body. That body is both.
It's when he came out of college, Bob. I mean, he came out of college. Everybody said it.
It's a blessing and a curse at the same time. History has taught us those bodies or things somewhat like them don't do well in terms of longevity in the NBA. And there's been a question from day one is whether his body would betray him. It's his asset on the one hand because there ain't nobody like him. This guy's a package. And I'm with you. It's a shame. I love watching him play. He can handle it. He can shoot. He can move. He can take it to the hoop. He can post up. I mean, he can do the whole package. He's averaged, and in his 4 full seasons he's played, he's averaged 22, 27, 26, and 23.
And he loves to play the game. It's when you just mentioned all of his attributes. When I see that big guy play, it's like he's playing on the playground like that. If he wasn't in the NBA, that guy would be at a court from like sun up to sundown.
Yeah, well, he's an anomaly. There's nobody in the league with that body. Nobody quite like him.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Now last year they quietly won 43 games last year. Now here's their and they've got a pretty good backcourt of DeJounte Murray and and McCollum. They got CJ McCollum. Jose Alvarado's a nice backup. Guess who they have in their roster as a center? Daniel Tice. Team number 6.
Good for him, man.
Since he left the Celtics, he's played with Chicago, Houston, Indiana, the Clippers, and now the Pelicans. Daniel Tice. He's 32, and he keeps finding a job. Good for him.
Get the pension, kid. Just get the pension.
Yep. So
get the pension.
Now, but nobody's thinking they're going to be anything great over in the West. But they did win 43 last year, and people, they're respectable, and they've been fighting for recognition in that town, and so it's still a football town. So,
all right, now LeBron and Bronny, I know it's a topic near and dear to your heart. Have played 4 minutes together.
They made history in the preseason. First time in NBA history that the father-son have performed in the game. That's it. They found it happened. We'll see how JJ Redick treats this whole thing. And we all assume Bronny's going to be going to the G League. He won't be on the roster, but maybe
you never know.
It's hard enough. I mean, no coach has ever had this issue to deal with. I mean, and it is an issue to deal with, not just the idea of a young prospect, but the dynamics here are unique and special. And I don't envy the coach at all with this, but he went in with his eyes open. Though he had to know what was going
Oh,
on.
he knew what the deal was.
Yeah,
But you have to wait. You have to say, is he going to take the spot of somebody who can help me?
Yeah, right.
Or am I better off just keeping him on the roster so I keep, his father happy? But the reality is, Bob, and I think you said this, is that for him to stay on the roster and do nothing doesn't help the young player.
Oh, not at all.
He's better off playing in the G League.
Now, the word on him, technically, and of course, our great colleague Jeff Goodman has seen him when we haven't really, is he's a ready-made defensive player. He's defensively ready to play in the NBA at age 19. He's and in fact, the word dynamic or some they used the disruptive. A D word was used by one of his teammates, about what he could be.
Yeah.
But offensively, a little raw and needs a lot more polish and working on his shot, etc. Which tells me how can it'd be ridiculous not to send him to the G League.
Let him go to the G League and work on it for a year, and then.
But the thing is, that's how many 19-year-olds would get that kind of praise. Unless they're like 7'4", you know what I mean?
Right.
Not many, and so keep your eye on that, or keep your ears open on that they think he's defensively ready already.
Well, if you like to play defense, you'll always have a job in the league.
Yeah, right.
Because
so there it is.
There's no doubt about that.
Look, there's nothing like seeing a game live. I mean, watching it on TV is great. We have all the technology, we have our phones, we have access to everything. But being there in person is definitely the way to go. GameTime has a new feature called GameTime Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. GameTime filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. For example, coming up in October, $147 to see the Dolphins at New England. That's a good deal, folks. That's an AFC East grudge match. Also, great deals on BC tickets, Boston College tickets, as they're headed in the right direction over at the Heights. Curated deals make it easier to find the best price on great seats. You got the super deal. Seat views before you buy. Lowest price guarantee, even cancellation protection, job loss protection. They've got so many different angles for you. Game Time Picks. Curation makes it easier for you to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, and theater. You could toggle along with all-in pricing. The feature shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Plus, you get a great view from your seat. Get a panoramic view from the seats that you're about to buy. You don't have to buy them, and you get the view, so you know what you're getting. Lowest price guarantee or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time.
Okay, I noticed today that the Miami Heat are going to name the floor in Miami after Pat Riley, like the Red Auerbach floor. Now you have the Red Auerbach Center. It seems, well, we all know that, Riley's still alive, and a drinking buddy of yours from the 1976 NBA Finals,
A pool buddy.
But it seems to me, you name the floor after Riley, there should be a statue of this guy. They should name a building after this guy. They should name like a highway after this guy, to me.
I don't know. I think that's a pretty nice tribute.
It's just the beginning, because as Celtic fans, we don't like him, but let's face it, he has an amazing list of accomplishments.
Yeah. Well, it's some. He is the refutation of the famous F. Scott Fitzgerald line about no second acts, because he's had a second and a third act, and this third act is is pretty damn good in Miami. Then he didn't leave New York well. Okay, didn't leave New York well. I think he resigned by email or something.
Right.
It wasn't good. But to go back to it's a fascinating career. I mean, it's a fascinating career. It starts with high school superstardom in Schenectady, New York. He's the son of a minor league baseball player. I don't know if you knew that. His father was a baseball lifer, Lee Riley, Lee, but a disciplinarian apparently. And Riles a disciplinarian. Then he goes to Kentucky, and he's the star Rups Runts, and he was jumping center at 6'3". And of course, they were the losing team to the famous Texas Western in 1966. But and then he goes and he's in the NBA. He's a backup guard. He does play on the 71-72 Laker championship team, and then he's out of basketball at one point. He's a carpenter, I believe. Then he gets on the bench with Chick Hearn and in the booth with Chick Hearn.
Yeah.
And he gets Jack McKinney tumbles on the bike and Westhead comes in and he goes to the bench, and the next thing you know, Westwood, there was a coup d'etat led by Magic, and a proper thing, by the way. I will always defend Magic for doing that, because Westhead was messing around, that was screwing up that team, and Magic did the right thing, and he becomes the coach. And Showtime, ladies and gentlemen, is his legacy in LA. Showtime, etc. So go all the way back to that. Then we got the Knicks, and he reinvents himself completely.
Oh yeah,
with a thug team. Forget Showtime. This is on the waterfront. I mean, I'm serious. And then he goes to Miami, and now he's an executive, and he's hiring the right people and making the right trades. Wow.
So he's got like seven rings.
Yeah.
Two with Miami and then 5 with LA.
But as you made an allusion, and I might as well tell the story once for, and not everybody has heard the story.
Yeah, but I like it anyways. I like to hear it.
In the 1976 NBA Finals, I was staying at Paul Westphal's house because I was having problems with Tommy Heinsohn, and Westphal had a pool, and we were good buddies, and so after the practice, we'd go to the pool and sit around, and Alvin Adams lived down the street, and Keith Erickson would drop over, and another guy would drop over and say, and somewhere to go. He was the 13th man on the 12-man roster. The guy left off the roster, Pat Riley. So that's my Pat Riley personal anecdotal story there about the life at Westphal's pool with Pat Riley.
Did you have a chance to talk with him much once he became the suit and the hair?
Not really. When he was coaching the Lakers, but not afterward. No, I haven't had much any interaction since he's been in Miami, because a lot of it, I'm officially retired my last season.
Right. But you were on the beat. So was there a big difference between the guy sitting by the pool and the guy that was running the Lakers?
I don't think so. No, the brain was. I mean, I don't really think so. So I wouldn't say that. But he's not really. It's a guy we know. But it is a fascinating career. Congratulations to you, Pat, for getting the court named, and that's fascinating, really. Well, I don't know any other NBA other than Red Auerbach. The NBA, you see this in college, more and more.
Right.
But Coach K, there's others I know out there that have their names. But this is something.
Should the Lakers do something?
I don't know what the Lakers did. It didn't end. He wound up with a little friction with Jerry West, I think.
Yeah. Well, West. Yeah.
So, which is unfortunate, but
was it Jerry West who wanted him, or was it the owner?
That's a good question. I can't answer that.
I forgot.
I can't answer that. I can tell you this: the Lakers, in the heyday of Showtime, they functioned ideally. The owner owned the coach, the GM, and the coach coached, and they didn't get in each other's way at all. But in the end, there was some problem, or some difference of opinion, I guess, with Jerry and Pat. But not. But when they were in the championships, there weren't. That's for sure.
Yeah. No. I mean, look, it always happens. I mean, things just don't seem to end well.
Yeah.
But I do think his greatest accomplishment was sticking with Spoelstra.
Oh. That was absolutely. That's a good. You're absolutely right.
Because I thought, who's this guy?
He promoted Spoelstra. Absolutely, and now he's going to the Hall of Fame. Spoelstra's going to walk into the Hall of Fame when it's over. Now, very good point. You're right. That is exactly right. He identified him, and then he can take full credit for him. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, Bob. Well, listen, my friend. We will talk to Mr. Goodman. He will be joining us later on in the week, my friend.
And we will.
And you're getting closer and closer to real basketball. PrizePicks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of CLNS Media Network. Pick more, pick less with PrizePicks. Okay, coming up at the end of the week, Jeff Goodman will be joining us. See you, Bob.